Go, Mama. We love you.
Mama, you're the best mom in the world.
Ma, we support you.
Don't worry, Ma. We're always here for you. We love you.
Love
We
you.
love you. Fighting, Mama.
Good evening, Heavenly Parents and True Parents, President Hori, Dr. and Mrs. Kittel, Sir Julius, Sir Ronnie, Sir L.A. Tonight, I would like to share our testimony of our Chombo activity. This is me and my husband's Romy and Nuyana's humble offering to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. We belong to the 30,000 couple blessing order. My husband Romy joined the church in 1986 and I joined in 1989. We received the blessing in 1992. In January of 1994, I came to the Philippines and my husband and I started family in February. We have 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters. My husband's spiritual children who are active are Nono and Hiroko Aureliano and Louis and Sylvia Del Pera. We started our HTM mission in 2015. Before we started our HTM, we offered National Johnson Condition together with Dr. Yon. My husband and I attended the 120-day morning devotion almost every day. We made it part of our sincere condition to even arrive earlier than anybody else during these morning devotions. Many of the successful tribal messiahs were able to accomplish this because of this kind of national condition that moved the spirit world to work with them. Our family strongly believe that this kind of national condition is what made us have the strong will to accomplish. My husband Romy studied HTM near our house, but he couldn't bring much result. This was because most of the families in Antipolo are either cohabitating or they do not live together as married couples. We started from here little by little. Later on, Romy was assigned to ALT, so he went to Indonesia where he got incarcerated for conducting witnessing activities there. Still, with a positive mind and sincere heart to offer to true parents, we were able to overcome this ordeal. During the first awarding of HTM victors, our couple couldn't make it to be part of the 35 couples awardees from the Philippines. Honestly, I would like to confess that at this point, I gave up trying to accomplish HTM. During this time, Chiyomi-san told us that if only Kinu and Romy did not give up, the Philippines would have been able to offer 36 victors to true parents, which is more significant number. It was painful to hear these words, but I accepted it and felt very sorry for Heavenly Parents and true parents. In April 2016, I went to Chongpyeong with some second gen. When it was finally time to write on our wish paper, I knew exactly what I wanted to wish for. I wanted to accomplish our couple's HTM goal. I strongly felt that Heavenly Parents waited for so long for me to fully determine. More than anybody else, He was the one who wanted us, our couple, to accomplish this goal long time ago. Heavenly Parents was the one who was ready to reach the goal with me, long before I even started to sincerely ask His support. That time, we offered our wish paper, and I seriously set my mind to reach the goal. At the Chonsimon, I sincerely prayed, determined, and wrote my ultimate wish, which was to fulfill HTM during a definite time period. I wrote, we will complete our HTM before August 2016. From that point on, I thought to myself, whatever God has prepared for me, I will be ready to accept. Right after coming back from Chongpyeong, Chiyomi-san approached me to do HTM mission in Mindanao. I felt it was God speaking to me. Our family had just enough to sustain our daily life, so during this time, I decided to borrow money. I talked to my husband, who just arrived from Indonesia, and said, let's do our HTM in Mindanao. Without any question or hesitations at all, Romy happily said he would go and do 430 times 4, 1,720 couples. This was an agreement with Chiyomi-san. First, she requested Romy to do HTM for 3 more couples. He said he will. Without wasting time, since we promised to God to fulfill within a definite time period, Romy packed the blessing materials and drove the Balingasag, Mindanao. He brought one brother with him. I started to pray to our absolute good ancestors to go to the HTM area and support Romy. Some days he would call me and say, today I only had 10 people. Area was a very far mountainside. And so some days he would call and say, today we were able to gather 100 people, but I like only 50 people so that I can see that they understand. Romy is more concerned about the lecture and education than the actual blessing ceremony itself. His way to educate people was Chapter 1, God's original plan for the ideal world. Chapter 2, where he shared about the problem of the world and the root cause. Then he would show the movie of hell, and then he would present the blessing as a solution and motivate them to receive the blessing. He made a PowerPoint in Visayas language and spoke to them in their local dialect. Most of you know that Romy's character is naturally friendly and easy to get close to people. If he lectured in their dialect, I'm sure they could educate and touch their heart more. After 40-day separation period, he would gather them again and give them a lecture of 3-day ceremony. Some people would come to him and honestly confess that they could not do 40-day separation. He never discouraged them and told them next chance. In fact, I remember Romy being happy that they even confessed. He would appreciate their honesty and encourage them to fulfill. He stayed in his HTM area for 6 months, intensively educating the families there. Our biggest trial was when the other blessed couples could not send in money, so one day, Chiyomi-san told him to stop for a while because there was no way to sustain financially. But Romy couldn't stop. He immediately went on to find a way to continue the blessing. What he did was loan the money, then he bought the detox machine. He would treat people with this machine. He raised money to sustain the HTM activities. I am sure that it was Heavenly Parents who gave this idea to him. Heavenly Parents could easily work with him during this difficult time because Romy never lost hope and was fully determined to fulfill his mission no matter what. By the end of 2016, Romy successfully came back home with the 1,720 couples name list, as he promised. Each one of them completed the 40-day separation and 3-day ceremony. If we check the album, most of them were farmers and fishermen. God bless the farmer and fishermen because their life is very simple and their families stayed together. This was a great foundation for them to receive the blessing. We were able to become HTM victors within the time frame we promised to Heavenly Parents. In 2017, True Mother invited us to Korea. I did not feel like we were just participants of one event. I felt True Mother really welcomed and comforted us. One time, True Mother invited us to Chonjonggun. What stood out to me from what she said was, you HTM victors should help other blessed families to succeed in HTM. In 2019, 60 plus Japanese came to the Philippines in hopes of fulfilling their HTM. I spent most of my time attending them. Romy also, if he was requested to give lectures to other people's tribes, he would gladly do it. It took our family 1 year to return the money we borrowed to fulfill HTM. Then we had to prepare again financially to follow up our tribe. Another big challenge our couple had to face was registering for Chombo in 2020. We had trouble complying with the requirements, which involve a lot of computer work. It was so difficult that again, we almost gave up. But Heavenly Parents kept giving us people who would help us to fulfill this. I am so grateful to them. Finally, we were able to enter Chombo in 2020. Having completed his mission, my husband happily ascended to the spirit world in May 2021 while doing Chanyan Yuksa. I can imagine that when he met True Father and Heavenly Parents in the spirit world, he happily shared our story in detail to them. This is what gives our family the greatest comfort and peace during this time. To summarize, our family is so grateful to Heavenly Parents and True Parents for being with us through it all. We realize that Heavenly Tribal Messiahship can only be fulfilled when it is done hand in hand with Heavenly Parents and True Parents. We understand that True Parents' hope is to fulfill 43 couples. I'm thinking of starting 43 near our place because we have no chance to go to Mindanao anymore without Romy. We will pray more, and I believe God will give us a way to fulfill just like He always did. Thank you very much.